Hello, I am Alfaruk and welcome to the Talk Active podcast. Today, let's explore the concept of consequences. Most of the time, when we're talking about consequences, we usually think of it in the negative. Yeah? When something bad happens or when you do something bad, the returning karma, we usually term it to be the consequence. The consequence for doing something bad, the consequence for doing something wrong, right? But guess what? There's a flip side that we're not looking at either. There's consequences for everything. There's also a consequence for doing what is good. There's a consequence for doing what is right. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be easy. In fact, doing what is right can feel so wrong sometimes, especially when the consequences comes after you. Let's take, for example, maybe in a work setting where there's already a standard way of doing something. Let's say collecting bribe, people within an office setting who have a system that works for them. They collect bribe, they eat the money and all of that. And you came along and you recognize that the current system in the office, the bribe that they collect to be able to look away from the situations, it actually affects a lot of people in a negative way. In fact, it brings about the death of people, probably not directly, but by the omission of the duties that these people are supposed to carry out, it results in disastrous circumstances for the people whom they were meant to protect. Now you come along and you've decided to be the incorruptible human, and you stand in the way of a process that these people are benefiting from. You refuse to take a bribe and you refuse to look away. And for this reason, you cost the people who are trying to bribe you a lot of money, but you saved a lot of lives. Without doubt, without an iota of doubt, you've done the right thing, saving all those lives. But the fact that you've done the right thing doesn't mean that things are going to be easy for you, or that there wouldn't be consequences for the right thing you've done, for the good thing that you've done. Now, this might result in you eventually getting fired. This might result in you being sabotaged at work. If you're not careful, this might result in you in the safety. It might compromise the safety of you, the safety of your family, of your loved ones. These are all consequences. It's a consequence to you doing the right thing. Now, whether you do something wrong or you do something right, there is always going to be consequences. But you must decide what you're willing to face consequences for, whether it's something right or something wrong. Because either way, consequences will still come. It's the law of reciprocal action, the law of sowing and reaping. Now, in the short term, it might look as though the consequences for you doing the right thing is an injustice. But if you stick to it long enough, the protection that you need for the long journey ahead usually finds a way to wrap itself around you. You might face the consequences for doing the right thing, but eventually, the law of sowing and reaping would see you through. It might not be immediately, it might not be at your own timeline the way you want it, but the laws are the laws and they are immutable. It can't be shifted. Likewise, for those who do the wrong things, the bad things, immediately, it might seem as though they've escaped, or the fact that there's no consequences for it, right? It might seem as though they cheated the system, but eventually it catches up. The consequences will find its way to wrap itself around them. The point I am trying to make is that don't expect the right things to be easy. It usually isn't. If it was so easy, nobody would be doing anything wrong. If it was an easy choice to just do the right thing, to do the obviously right thing, most people wouldn't go around doing the wrong things. It is difficult. It carries its own consequences. It can make your life hell. But the question is the right thing worth doing? Who has got your back? You should stick to doing the right thing. Who's got your back if you decide to do the wrong things? If you have decided to do the right thing, be prepared to face the consequences of doing the right thing, despite the fact that it's the right thing to do. Prepare your mind. That doesn't automatically make it rosy, and doesn't automatically absolve you or shield you from consequences that would approach you when you choose to do the right thing. Just have that at the back of your mind as you go through life. I am Alfaruk, and this is the Talk Active podcast. See you on the next episode. Peace.